Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night News. I'm Ross Macdonald, and this is David Gokhshtein, as usual. How are you doing, David?
I'm good because I'm wearing my swag.
Swag City, right there.
There you go. If we had Lob City out in LA, we have Swag City out here at GM. And that stands for not Good Morning, but Gokhshtein Media.
Exactly. Well, today we've got news about Bitcoin the NBA, and the Fed. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Lots happening today with people talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum because they're going in opposite directions. Bitcoin's down 4% on the week. Ethereum's up 4% on the week. What are your thoughts, David?
My thoughts are that I personally expected this. Like, seriously, I had this gut feeling that this would happen. I'd be scared if I'm holding Bitcoin. Well, I am holding Bitcoin, and I am kind of
Yeah.
scared. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be upfront. Like, I'm a little bit. We talked about this before we came on the air. Like, I'm a little bit.
But
You said something about should people be concerned, and like, from one aspect, yeah, it's not. It's not a good feeling to see dominance at this point. Where it's currently standing.
so
When was the low? When did it hit its low? Was it in 2021? I don't remember.
so here's the Bitcoin dominance chart. Currently 39.09%. Little refresher for everyone. What is Bitcoin dominance? It is the supply versus the price. So that's how and that's versus Bitcoin versus all other cryptocurrencies. That's how you calculate Bitcoin dominance. So it's always had 40% or more. The last time it dropped lower than this was January 1st, 2018. It hit 37.64%, and then it spiked right out of that back up to 50% over the course of that month in January. Even while the price was dipping, dominance, kept. Bitcoin has always kept its dominance. Now we have Ethereum going to 2.0, and we're seeing these numbers go in different directions.
I'm not trying to scare anybody. I really
No.
am not. Okay.
Here's the good news.
If it rebounds, where's it going?
Here's the good news. A lot of technical analysis that I saw said that Bitcoin was going to test 17,000 and then do very well after that, because everyone in their head will have a value of what Bitcoin's worth. And a lot of the time we see that. So this is the Ethereum chart. You see over the last week, it's been doing pretty well, just a slight increase. But when you look at Bitcoin, it was trading sideways, and that's an accumulation period. People are okay with those prices. It's not spiking up, it's not spiking down. So bit of a sell off, right? These are 4-hour candles. So if we go back to 1-hour candles, you can see that there was a whale event that took this down, and now it's trying to recover, to retest, and it's all emotions. So you just watch and just see what happens. The rest of this week will be interesting. Do you still think September will be a down month for crypto?
Yeah, just because that's the psyche, and I believe the whales will use that to their advantage, and I think a lot of shorts will get wrecked. I really believe a lot of shorts will overplay their hand, and kaboom! Here comes that green candle destroying everything, kind of like the dead zombie dragon from Game of Thrones when he took down the entire wall and allowed the White Walkers to come in. It's kind of that kind of event. Yeah, people are like, I've never watched Game of Thrones. Well, essentially, I feel like kaboom is coming. A Mike Tyson uppercut out of nowhere, knockout, and here come the Bulls on a run. It's just honestly, I got to tell you, Ross, a bit scary, man, at being in this territory.
For sure. But it doesn't help when you get some previously reputable companies like Forbes. And I'm just going to say that this is a load of horse crap that they put out here. Sell all your Bitcoin, Serious crypto price crash warning issued ahead of game-changing Ethereum upgrade. So Billy Bambro, senior contributor, writes this, and in here he says, one independent Bitcoin and crypto researcher warned of a looming Bitcoin price. They don't name who it is. It's one researcher in the whole planet, and they put this clickbait out here. And it's, to me, it's just like, who is authorizing this? Like, what is happening? Like, this is like Forbes should change their name to Sesame Street. Like, what are they doing?
So can I ask you maybe this question? So sell all your Bitcoin now as a headline on Forbes. What if somebody goes on to, what if somebody with a big platform goes on to Twitter and just says sell all your Bitcoin now? Are they held liable for saying sell all your Bitcoin now, and all of a sudden Bitcoin goes up out of nowhere? Just BlackRock the size with Citadel and Fidelity to go ahead and just let's take the market to the next levels. Now people sold at 19 and change. Like who does do they get held responsible as well? I mean, I'm just putting it out there, food for thought.
So if a celebrity says buy something or sell something, the SEC nails them. But Forbes can do this, and it's okay. Shame on you, Forbes. Shame on you. And you, Billy Bambro, whatever your name is.
Some of his articles are really. I'm gonna watch this. This is what I feel. This is why we're special as a company.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I've read a few of his articles, and I found them to be very interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't say that a lot because, number one, I read books. I don't really read articles unless I need to go ahead and do my research. But I'll give the guy some credit that the stuff that he does put out there is usually packed with information. This one, I don't know about this. This one, it didn't hit the spot, because now there's a lot of new people within the space. They're probably going to Forbes for their information, and they see this and they're like, "Oh my God, I got to sell all my Bitcoin." Who are you helping? BlackRock. You're helping Fidelity to acquire more Bitcoin for cheap.
What do you think the chances are that writers in these tier one media companies are paid to push a narrative? Like, it's a bit of a rhetorical question, but is that already affecting crypto now?
I really don't. I honestly don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. But when I see this, I start to think, okay, this is something to really watch where you get your information from. What is the bias? And you know what? The second that the Gokhshtein Media ever gets someone that asks us to push a narrative, we'll probably tell our community what happened.
We won't ever do that, and that's not taking a shot at anybody. We're not ever
No,
going
I
to
mean
push any narratives.
No, I mean, if someone says, "Hey, can you push this narrative?" we would go, "Hey, this person asked us to push this narrative. Hey." We'll be the whistleblower on someone like that. Get those people and just squash them.
Rose is about to stick this up your tail right here. See this? See this lightsaber thing? About to stick this up your tail.
Okay, on to next news. NBA says that the NBA and the NBPA, the Players Association, joined SoRare. They're going to have their first NHL Fantasy Basketball game this fall. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
So
that's dope.
It's interesting because they tested out so much with Top Shot and NFTs, and now they're going to expand into different things like this with SoRare. So if you look at SoRare's profile, they're heavily into sports. Like they, from a fantasy aspect, I talked to someone the other day, a guy I know, and he's in, was it something like 7 NFL fantasy leagues? 7. How do you manage that?
I'm out.
That's too many.
I can hardly manage one. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I might play FanDuel. This is not gambling advice either, but I might go on FanDuel or DraftKings and play on Sundays, pick a team, and hopefully I get lucky. But I've never come close to acquiring points to even be in the top 100. So, but that's something that I'll just do for shits and giggles.
It's
Good for
hard.
them, though. Good for them.
It's hard, but that's cool to see announcements like that. CNBC announced new Fed banking chief targeting crypto and climate change as top priorities. So federal governor Michael Barr, he is on top of this. And if these
Is he
are
tackling in a good way, or like?
it says here that he was the Federal Reserve's top regulator in charge of banks, and he was Assistant Treasury Secretary for financial institutions during the Obama administration. So him jumping in.
No, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know. He's looking better access to long-term climate-related financial risks facing the largest institutions. I think most large institutions don't care about climate change unless it's sort of a charity thing, you know. It's not really on the agenda for most corporations unless they're forced.
It's funny how they talk about climate change, right?
Yeah.
Focus on how much energy it takes to print out the U.S. dollars that are printed out daily. Focus on that. Don't focus so much on Bitcoin and POW and how much energy Bitcoin takes up by minting and confirming transaction. Like, stop that. Stop. It says a bigger issue.
It says he wants increased scrutiny on the crypto industry for the risks that it poses. Stable coins, like other unregulated private money, could pose financial stability risks. Well, the U.S. has already said that if U.S. banks and U.S. financial institutions want to work with stablecoins, they have to back it 1-to-1 with a U.S. dollar. So Tether's backed by a U.S. dollar, and now you got to back it by another dollar. So tell me what risk that they're taking.
I think the risk that every single American has taken is trusting the feds with we're never going to have a recession, we're never going to have an inflation, and yet look at us now, and the same people are trying to fix it. So I'd be more scared to continue to stay within the fiat system than to go into cryptocurrency. Not financial advice. That's just me waking up out of the matrix and figuring out like something's wrong with the system.
Yeah, for a lot of people now, they're starting to realize it's a little bit terrifying to have a bank account saving money, but you know what? You got to just keep doing research. That's financial advice. Keep learning, keep educating yourself on everything. That's the only way to stay ahead of the curve. It takes a lot of work.
For real.
Well, that is the news for
The guy
tonight.
looks like the bad guy from like a Dennis the Menace movie.
The neighbor?
Yeah, like he looks like he's about to call like truancy on Dennis the Menace. Oh no, like something's off there.
Dennis the Menace 3, written by David Gokhshtein.
No,
I'll edit it.
It'll tank. It'll definitely tank.
Well, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the Late Night News. I'm Ross Macdonald, and this has been
David Gokhshtein here on the 1 and 2. So, as always, should we do the kill thing? Should we put on like jackets? And as always, have a great day and an even better tomorrow.